One of the most interesting curiosities about Plan 9 from Outer Space is the origin of its title. Initially, the movie was titled Grave Robbers from Outer Space. However, the producers thought that a title like Plan 9 sounded more intriguing and mysterious. And thus, the title we know today was born. Plan 9 from Outer Space is famous for its extravagant and sometimes downright ridiculous special effects. From flying saucers suspended by visible strings to unconvincing space combat scenes, the special effects of this film have left a mark on B-movies. Though they may seem amateurish, they are part of the movie's charm. Due to the limited budget for the special effects in Plan 9 from Outer Space, would had to rely on resourcefulness to shoot the scenes. One of the most iconic scenes in the film is the sequence of flying saucers hovering over Los Angeles. The alien spacecrafts have often been identified as paper plates or hubcaps, but it seems that they were actually toy kits produced in 1956 by the toy company Paul Lindbergh. Lindbergh's kits included a flying saucer kit, featuring the most popular image of UFOs at the time, a silver disc-shaped craft with a transparent dome, popularized after Kenneth Arnold's alleged sighting in 1947. The toy kit had a small green man inside the plastic dome, and for the film, a fully assembled version of this model and a slightly modified version were used. The scene was ultimately filmed with the flying saucers suspended by strings, which were not concealed and can be seen in some shots of the final footage. The scarcity of resources marked almost every aspect of the filming of Plan 9 from Outer Space, and it can be seen in many elements of the film. For example, the special ship's cockpit was made of cardboard, and most of the crosses and tombstones in the graveyard were made of paper and cardboard. In the space station, we can observe a large number of electronic devices, mostly placed there just to add bulk, including a blinking light stolen from a construction site the day before. Perhaps the best example of Ed Wood's money-saving methods was the shower curtain. It was used multiple times during filming as an actual shower curtain, but also as the door for the alien's cabin and as the fabric covering the bomb. One of the most notable curiosities of Plan 9 from Outer Space is the participation of Bela Lugosi, famous for his portrayal of Dracula in cinema. However, Lugosi passed away before the production of the film began. To complete his role, Ed Wood used archival footage of Lugosi and even a double to cover his face. Lugosi's presence in the film has bestowed it with a cult status. To replace Bela Lugosi in the remaining scenes, Wood hired his wife's chiropractor, Tom Mason, despite Mason being taller than Lugosi and not resembling him. To somewhat disguise the lack of resemblance, the character covers his face with his cape whenever he appears on screen. A peculiar curiosity of Plan 9 from Outer Space is the low budget and modest sets used. The set designs are simple and sometimes recycled from other productions. The costumes also reflect the economic limitations but contribute a unique style to the film. Despite the constraints, Ed Wood's creativity became evident in his ability to do a lot with so little. Nearly all of the film's locations were shot in Los Angeles, California, a place that Ed Wood was quite familiar with as he lived there. The quality studios in Hollywood were used for some scenes, and real archival footage from the military was incorporated for the scene where the soldiers shoot at the flying saucers. Although it was a commercial failure upon its release, this film has left an indelible mark on cinema and popular culture. It has become a cult classic and has influenced numerous filmmakers and artists. There have even been documentaries and books about Ed Wood's life and the production of this film. Furthermore, Plan 9 from Outer Space has been parodied and referenced countless times in other films, television shows, and songs. Its unique style and reputation as the worst movie of all time have turned it into a cult phenomenon. The fame of Plan 9 from Outer Space has grown so much over the years that it has become a cultural icon, extending its legacy beyond the realm of cinema. In addition to several moderately successful theatrical adaptations, It has inspired the record label Plan 9 Records, created by Glenn Danzig for his band The Misfits. There was also a graphic adventure game based on the film, released for computers in 1992, video game Plan 9 from Outer Space. References to the film in movies and television are also common, such as in the Seinfeld episode titled The Chinese Restaurant.
Look at this, Plan 9 from Outer Space is playing tomorrow night.
Or the Hollywood 80 episode of the popular The X-Files. In 2011, Passmore Lab, a production and 3D film conversion studio, produced a 3D version of the colorized Plan 9 from Outer Space. There was even a remake titled Plan 9, directed by John Johnson and produced by Darkstone Entertainment, which was finally released in 2015, Plan 9 Movie.